you are getting your own personal video because I promised you that I would, and we ran out of time. So first things first, this has got to get better. You, my princess, must start naming it. Like, this should be called hair, and this should be called dress, and you got to start naming your layers. It's not enough. It's great that you have layers, exactly what I wanted, but it doesn't really help if nothing is named. Okay? All right. So first things first, I went in and grabbed all the people, found all the people. I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm going to move the people to the new layer, and I'm going to copy them, and I'm going to hide them. And where's my new layer? I'll make a new layer, and I will paste the people in front. All right, so now I have the people on 2 layers, and I'm going to call one bright people, and I'm going to call the other one dark people. And I'll start with the dark people. Now, you can recolor them however you like. You can go in and just turn all of these into grays. But you asked me about the recolor effect, so I'll go in. It's located, let's see, it's located here under properties. So I'll turn it on and turn it off again. So properties. And I have this group now that I've grabbed, and I'm going to say recolor. And when I do that, I get an extra window. I get the recolor window. Now there's a lot going on here. I'm going to do recolor and not generative recolor. This is AI. I'd prefer you not use this for now. These dots represent all of these colors. And if I swing this around, you can see that the colors are changing. These are the most prominent colors in the file. And so if I come up here, can you see that the colors are kind of moving through all of the most prominent colors in the file? This is not bad. Everything's getting darker because we're moving into the darkest colors in the file. Let's see, if I turn on bright people, yeah, that's not bad. The only one I see that still probably needs a little bit of work is this one. So let me go get finger on the shift key so I can grab all these. And you notice I'm working with the hollow arrow, the white arrow direct selection tool, because all of this I made into a group. If it's not a group, it's not going to be a problem for you. But if you try and grab things that are grouped together and you use the black arrow, the direct selection tool, you're going to have trouble. So use this one. Now I'm gonna. Here we go. So here these are. I think these are her pants. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna delete this for now so I can keep moving. So here she is on the venue, and that's great. Now this is the dark venue background. So again, I'm going to duplicate it. I'll duplicate it a different way. I'll drag it down, and now there are 2 of them. And I'll call this one bright background. Okay? And that's going to be whatever the color will be when the spotlight comes down. Okay. So, I've got, let's see. She's got some hair there. I'll move this up, and I'm not going to worry about this right now. Just work with me. And she's going to be in the spotlight, so I don't have to make 2 of her. If you want her in and out of the spotlight, just like the people, you have to make an extra layer. But for now, let's just do bright people and bright background. Let me move them up so they're right next to each other. And then I'll take them both and move them here. And sorry to complain. I know I'm really complaining quite a bit. But if these were layered, if these layers were named, I would be having so much an easier time of this. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, so I'm going to lock everything else down. I'm going to lock down the dark people, and I'm going to lock down anything else below here because I don't want to accidentally grab any of this when I do the clipping mask. So here I am. Let me just go get my toolbar. There it is. And so I will draw, I'll make a new layer because that's how we roll. Now the moment I make this clipping mask, it's going to take everything from this layer and put it into the clipping mask layer, because clipping masks, you have to be on the same layer as what you're clipping. So here we go. I'll put it on the bright people layer. I'm going to draw the spotlight. And I'm guessing now because I can't see her, but I'm just guessing. Hang on. So there's the spotlight. And I'm going to marquee this box. And so I've got all the bright people and all the bright background. But this shape, the spotlight shape, is the topmost shape. The clipping mask has to sit on top of everything it's clipping. I go to Object, Clipping Mask, Make. And so you can see what I've done, right? And I can go into this clipping mask. I can make it wider, I can make it narrower. Let's switch her back on. So there you go. Now, if you wanted to do this across all three of these panels, you would have to organize accordingly. And at that point, my friend, you got to name this stuff, because this is just going to be too confusing if you don't. All right? So that's the first thing you wanted to ask me about. The second thing you wanted to ask me about, I think, was texture. Let me go in, and I'm going to unlock some of these layers. I'm going to grab her and the mirror and the background of the mirror. Let me see. This is how I do it. I do Command 3. I hide things that are in my way, especially when my layers aren't labeled. Sorry, not sorry. So I can get her. This is what I think. This is what I'm talking about. I understand that you'd have to move the box of tissues. You can put the box of tissues in front of the mirror if you wanted to. And I love all of these lines. The drawn lines are so cool. Her body maybe could use a little bit more detail, but the shapes are very pleasing. They're very, very pleasing. And if I go into the presentation mode, I lose nothing by making her larger, okay? But let's talk about her hair, and let's talk about putting some texture into her hair. You have a couple of different options here. I have uploaded another selection of patterns and brushes, and then the other brushes, I think you know, are in the, they're in week, I think they're in week 4. You'd have to look for them. But let's say, here, I'm going to grab this one. I'm going to copy it. I'll paste it in. So now this brush has been pasted in. Let me get the brush. And here is this brush. So I can take my pen tool and I can start adding texture. I'm going to put my finger on the Option key. I can add some texture here. Now, you can use the Draw Inside tool if you wanted to. I can change this. Let's see what this color is. This color is this marvelous rich red. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to hit Command C to copy this color. I'm going to come back into these two lines and I'm going to do Paste, Command V to paste the color. Oops, come on. And I'll click over here and then I'll make it darker. So you can use whatever paintbrush you like. We have this one. There's another one in the Slack channel that, let me get this out of the way, that Preston downloaded that looks like pencil marks. You could use pencil marks, but you can add as much as you like. You can find whatever brush you want to go ahead and add texture and color. Tuck it in using the Draw Inside tool if you like. You could also, if you wanted to have a little fun with, for example, with her arms, consider the Width tool, right? Completely up to you. I'm not, look, I like her arms. I'm not saying I don't like her arms. I'm just saying I see some opportunities here. Oops. Consider the idea of maybe putting a cast shadow under her chin. So let me do that. Let's see, it's a pink. So I'll grab a slightly darker pink and, oops, forgot to turn on the draw inside tool. Oh, don't you hate it when that happens? Sorry, long day. Draw inside. Now I'll choose a darker pink. So my suggestion is you have a little fun and add some ideas. And you know what, if you say to me, Chris, I don't like the brush tool, I don't want the brush tool, well, that's okay. You have these magnificent curves that you've drawn, these absolutely terrific curves that you've drawn. So watch this. If I take this one and I take this one, and I think I'll grab my eraser tool. I'll erase all of this. I'll erase all of this. So now I've got this beautiful curve, and I've got this beautiful curve. And I go get the Pathfinder tool, and I say that. I did minus front. So now I have a single curve, right? A single curl. I can scale it. Finger on the Option key. I can scale it. I can make it skinny. I can overlap them. You can build up the curls that way. You could do it with clothes paths because you already have the clothes paths. You could do that here. Look at these magnificent curls you have. Using the eraser tool and the draw inside tool, you could isolate those and just put them all in. And then the last thing, let me turn off draw inside. I always forget to do that. The last thing I wanted to mention. Now you might not like this, but here are all these patterns, and all of these patterns have a blank background. So the moment I pasted this pattern into the file, it was added to the swatch menu. See, there it is. So if I take this shape and I copy it, let me delete these. I'm going to take this shape and copy it. I'm going to paste in front. I'm going to fill it with the pattern. Now, when you say, Chris, that looks ridiculous, I hate it. Well, hang on, give me a minute. If I double click on the pattern, let me come over here and say dim copies to 30. I have another video for the whole class that I just uploaded about this. And then I change it to a dark brown, and I say done. See, it doesn't have to be a black pattern. And watch this. I'm going to get the scale tool, finger on the Option key. Come on, finger on the Option key, scale tool. There we go. Where are you? Oh, I was using the wrong key. Not my knight. Okay, so I'm going to say 25%. Don't transform the object. Transform that. You know, maybe even smaller. Maybe, or maybe larger. Maybe 240%. What happens? I mean, you can, that's not the greatest. But listen, you can make your own pattern. If this isn't working for you, if you don't like it, you could make your own pattern. You could draw a couple of locks and make it into a repetitive pattern and put that in her hair. I mean, you could really have a lot of fun with this. I feel like you've done the hard part, right? You've sketched in all of these closed shapes. Now you can go full ham. You can add texture. You can add drop shadows underneath things. Just please remember, no transparency. No transparency, no gradients, okay? I keep saying this and I keep seeing them showing up. People get excited, I think, and they forget. So I know that you know Illustrator quite well. No transparency, no drop shadows, right? And for heaven's sakes, label your layers. But start putting in some of the lights and the shadows. You know, maybe a glare on the glass, you know, if I go up to the top. This is glass, and so, you know, maybe there's maybe you want me to understand that this is a mirror, finger on the option key. And so this comes over her head, right? I'm doing this way too fast, but you get the idea. You have the draw inside tool, you have clipping masks, you have brushes, you have patterns. All of these things are at your disposal. It's going very, very well. I think it just needs now the grace notes, little details, little light and shadow, a little shadow added to the items on the desk. Just go in and, why is that not working? There we go. Go in and just go crazy and have a good time with it. It's a very fun illustration. And so I feel like you could, whoops, sorry, I'm going crazy here. I feel like you could have a lot of fun with it. You could, wow, I'm really messing up here. You could really have fun with this. And I would like you to. I'd like to see what happens when, there we go, when you start having fun with this. Adding in shadows, adding in details, adding in a little texture. This is made for the brush tool, all right? I'd love to see this. Maybe we can check in Monday morning. Maybe you could drop the file in. I don't know how much work you're going to be able to get to tomorrow, but stick with it. And just remember that if it doesn't all get done in time, you can upload it and say, look, I'm going to go back and work on the textures, or I'm going to go back and work on the light and shade. All right. I hope that wasn't too much. I just felt like I didn't give, I wasn't able to give you as much time in class as I wanted to, and I really wanted to talk this through with you. It's coming along very, very well. Label your layers and let me know if you have questions.